Ness, your sister is trying to talk. You want to grant them access?
I mean, if you want.
No, we got 5 minutes. Why not let your sister come up here for a minute or
Oh my
two?
god.
I'm curious as to what she has to say.
There we go. Let's see what happens.
Did you invite them?
Now, I'm trying to figure this out here.
Oh my god.
Look, I'm just gonna let this happen. We have 5 minutes.
There we go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi.
Hi!
Yes, hi.
Podcast in like almost a year, so yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, we're coming very close. The server itself is a year old now, so that's really exciting. And I don't know if it's next month or the month after where it will be officially a year since we started doing podcasts. But we're coming up on it very soon, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, like, it means that we've been in the server for so long, like
a whole year. Guys, we have been collectively obsessed with TBHK for over a year.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like sad or exciting.
Look, it can be both. It can be both.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Alright. I don't really see anybody else coming in, so
All right.
maybe we should start.
Alright.
All
Yeah,
right.
no.
Alright. I'm going to move you back.
Toss you back down into the audience. Good morning, everyone. It's morning where we are, so excuse us if we sound like we're waking up, because we are. We're just waking up. So typical rules: if you want to chat, please move over to general discussion. That's where the text chat is for the podcast. We are recording this. It's going to go on YouTube. General structure: we're just going to talk about the chapter, talk about our thoughts, make jokes, have fun, drink coffee. And once we finish talking, there will be a Q&A section. You guys can either type out your questions in general discussion, or you can raise your hand and ask your question out loud if you have a mic that you're confident in. If you're not, please just stick to the chat, because I can only do so much audio editing. For those of you who don't know our voices off by hand, I am Otaku Imi.
I'm a random Hana for coffee.
And I am Ness.
And hi to the people we haven't seen in a long time. Corpse, I haven't seen you in ages. This is great. I'm really happy everybody's here.
Isn't this overused first podcast?
It is Overused
That's
first
so exciting.
podcast. Guys, welcome Overused. It is one of our admins, and Overused never, ever, ever makes it to our podcast. So this is a very momentous occasion for everybody.
Get a round of applause.
Round of applause for Overused. Finally, it happened. We are so proud of you.
Alright, so should we start this chapter?
No, let's talk a little bit about predictions. I know a lot of us don't really remember exactly what it was we predicted the last chapter, but I do know that a lot of us were thinking that there was going to be a Kou and Teru talk this chapter. So kudos to us for being right. We correctly predicted where the story was going on that one. And another thing I vaguely remember us talking about, people going on about whether there would be an appearance of another supernatural. Number 6 was not on that list. I'm pretty sure no one predicted that number 6 of all the different supernaturals was going to be the one to pop up in this chapter, but alas, that is what happened. So, minus points. The results are in. Nobody gets any points this chapter.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could have predicted that Teru and Ko were going to talk. Hanako and Nene, we were done with them like for a while. We know who AidaIro is.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Are they gonna rejoin with them soon? I don't know how long that's gonna take. I don't know. We'll talk about it later when we get to the more intense part of this chapter, but I guess we can jump into the actual thing now. We're going to kind of bounce over the poll results that are showcased on the first few pages. We'll circle back around to it when it pops up again at the end, but we'll just jump straight into the chapter. Kathy, take it away.
Alright, so one thing I like about this chapter is the fact that I can summarize the first 10 pages in Kou and Teru are fighting.
Wait, no, we can't get through it that fast. We can't. We've got a time to fill. Something I did when I was reading through the first few pages was I was desperately looking around to see if I could figure out where that Hakujodai went. You know, we all talked about it. One of them disappeared in the last chapter. There's no indication of it anywhere. I can't find it. So it's just there 1 second and then gone the next.
What? That's so weird. It's just there and then gone.
Yeah, you
Maybe
can
just evaporated.
you can see it when Hanako's dashing out of the train with Nene, and then
Yeah, you
when
see
you
both of them,
see
yeah.
Teru jumping after him, it's just gone. One of them's gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, no idea what happened there.
That's so suspicious.
But yeah, all right. Let me properly summarize the chapter then.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done talking about these first few pages.
Okay.
So Teru didn't even pause. I thought this was an interesting thing to note, that his brother faces him with his staff, ready to fight him. He doesn't even consider fighting him. He doesn't see him as a threat at all. He just ignores his brother and immediately starts going after Hanako, which, you know, we can get into later, but it's the first sign of him not seeing Ko as, you know, any sort of fighting power. Like, he's just completely brushing him off. I've seen this done before in different shows, and it's always kind of an emotional punch when you see them turn their back, like it's not even worth their time. But anyways, now we can keep going.
Yeah, he looks extremely cold, actually.
He does.
Looking over Ko's shoulder and looking at Hanako and Nene running out. But yeah, he goes after them immediately. Ko dashes after him, which, you know, that's actually some... It's not as fast as him, but the speed is kind of impressive. But, yeah, he stops him from getting to...
He
Yeah.
does, and you know,
Yeah.
points to Ko for that. He did a good job. He's doing
He's
exactly what he said he would do.
He's still MVP. But
He's been MVP for so long. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he really has. He's done so much.
But the thing is that Teru looks absolutely bored out of his mind. He doesn't even look angry. He just looks bored.
And you know what he says? This isn't what I meant when I told you to follow Yashiro-san, but I'm sure you knew that. Like, he's just like scolding his brother for, you know, intentionally not listening to him when he told him to sweep the floor. Like, that's the kind of energy this has.
He still sees Ko as a child, and I don't know if it's rightfully so, but well, I mean, we'll get into that. But he's been keeping Ko in the dark, right? But yeah, he's like, I'm on Senpai's side.
It is interesting that he specifically notes that he's not taking Hanako's side, that he's just on Senpai's side, which is
That's
sweet.
the stance I figured he would make.
It's really nice that they're even using a panel to call back to him promising to be there for Senpai. Like, that was a really sweet moment, but it also happened a really long time ago.
Yeah, I was so surprised that they called back to that specifically.
And that, you know, that's still such an important promise to him that he's thinking about it specifically in this moment. Like, that's what he's calling back to. That's what matters.
Something that happened so long ago just makes me think.
Yeah.
Does it make you think about the key? Oh,
I wasn't gonna say it, but okay.
okay. All right, moving on.
Am I the only
Yeah.
one who doesn't think about the key?
No. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, so he's just done with it, and he's like quick acting like a hero, cool. And yeah, he didn't think he'd be useful in the first place, but to think that he'd actually interfere.
It's really interesting that he uses that term specifically, like quit acting like a hero, and just the difference in the way these two see the situation. Like, Ko is a character who legitimately acts like a hero because he's a selfless, sweet child who just like actually thinks about other people first. He's not intentionally acting like a hero, but Teru seems to think that he is, that he's like intentionally trying to be the hero right here. And Ko's just, he can't process that because that's not who he is. Like, he doesn't think about things like that. It's just complete divide. And it's even it's even showcased how divided their viewpoints are here because Teru is completely in the shadow of the train and Ko is in the light. Like they're using the shading of the screen to divide it in half and really emphasize how just their viewpoints are complete opposites here.
Yeah. But the thing is, Teru says that he should have stayed home and cooked dinner for us. Basically saying you'd have been more used if you quit acting like a hero and become a housewife.
That's so mean.
Yeah, that's so rude.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
That was just hilarious. But what's funny is that Ko sees Teru as he sees his viewpoint as weird, which is sort of justified because Teru has seen things that Ko hasn't seen before.
And that we
And
haven't seen.
already
We have no idea what he's been through. We've only just
True,
gotten the vaguest
Clearly.
callbacks to it.
Yeah.
and he's not that much older than Ko. Sure, he's been through a lot more than Ko,
It's
but
true. He's what, like
he's
3 years older? Like,
he's also in the age of where the seven mysteries are guarding the gates, the seven gates. So supernatural shouldn't be that bad. Of course, we've seen some depictions, that I can recall, but they just don't seem that bad.
yeah, they're. I mean,
But
of all the supernaturals we've met, the only ones that are actually a problem from the get go has really been number 6 and Tsukasa.
I do
mhm.
remember seeing, Teru go up against a supernatural that was outside of the school.
Yeah,
That
it
would
was
look
like a
pretty
spider-looking
fierce.
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was impressive. I want to know that story. I would love to
Oh yeah,
read
and
that
he
as
does
like a
that
side
daily.
story.
He does
Yeah.
that daily too, as well.
It's his night job.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess he has to be kind of cold or racist, but
None of us were ever pretending that he wasn't. It's Teru, racist against supernaturals. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
but yeah, Ko hates the fact that he has to stay at home and be treated like a housewife. It's kind of miserable to see everybody um holding Teru on this pedestal and relying on him while he isn't being relied on at all. He's just staying home. And I don't know if that's because some kind of natural difference in the power that they have, or if Ko is just not old enough yet. I really don't know.
I don't
But
know.
when you look at Tiara, maybe it's just
Well, Tiara is definitely naturally gifted, but
yeah.
it's interesting to think about because if we're calling back to a very, very, very early moment, Hanako himself assessed Ko as having a lot of potential. Like,
Mm.
from their very first bout, from the first time they fought, he was like, "Okay, yeah, you're way way off from being able to take me, but you have potential. You'll be able to one day." Like that was Hanako's assessment. Teru's assessment is the opposite. He thinks Ko is never going to reach that point, and so he better protect him and keep him at home so he's not exposed to any of that.
hmm
Again, the two of them having,
Can you imagine how
contrasting.
much that means to Koro?
Yeah, it's
Maybe
so
that's why he can't bring himself to hate Hanako too much.
It's so rough on Ko, really. I feel bad for him because he's such a sweet soul. Sweet enough that he really doesn't mind doing the chores or anything, even though most kids would. I mean, I was a kid
hmm
once and I hated doing chores, and I'm an adult now and I still hate doing chores. It's just the way of things. But like he doesn't hate it, but he hates that he can't help his brother. Like he wants to help his brother because again, Ko is a sweet, kind-hearted soul who wants to help people. And his
hmm
brother matters to him more than just about anything. That's his family. And he
hmm
won't let him. He won't even see him as a potential help. It's almost weird
Yeah,
how
he
much
straight
this
up.
contrasts with our last arc. I mean, in the Red House arc specifically, Teru was like, Ko's gonna be okay. Like, Yashido's gonna be okay. Ko's with her. They'll be fine. Like,
Oh
it
yeah.
seemed like he had confidence in his brother, and now it feels like we're doing a 180 and seeing
Yeah,
a side of Teru where he doesn't have any confidence in his brother. And I don't know, it's weird.
yeah. And I mean, you could say it's a death flag, but usually if it was a death flag, he'd kind of be giving Ko more encouragement, or
This is
Making
not
us
a
not
death
hate him as
monologue.
much.
This is
It's
definitely not a death monologue. We
really
are
not.
not. We're not doing
It's
that
not.
yet.
But yeah, he straight up told Kou he's weak. And maybe it's because of just the sheer emotions that he's feeling right now. Why he took the 180. He's kind of upset as well.
Yeah,
As much as he doesn't show it.
yeah. He's got that stone face of you
hmm
know being upset. This has to be the first time we've ever seen Teru properly lose his cool. Like, he doesn't like
No?
supernaturals, and we've seen him get
There's
vicious before, but I'm not sure we've ever seen him actually get this frazzled. Like,
Did you?
especially
I
a
do
little bit
remember him
earlier when
getting
he calls him a
frazzled
hero.
during the severance.
Very,
Yeah.
very briefly, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
not really. Like
As
he was
he,
still acting. He was still in control. That's the difference I'm making here. It's that this is the first
hmm
time where I think Teru feels like he's really not in control of the situation,
Mhm.
and it bothers him.
I wouldn't call this frazzled, but don't you remember the time when he went to pick up number two's what's it called? Connection?
I mean, he just had a moment where he felt a little depressed. He was
Okay, oh yeah.
whining, not frazzled.
He became
Yeah.
relatable for like 5 seconds.
He did. It was a good moment. You guys remember that time when we all related to Teru? Yeah, that
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
once.
He's like,
Let's all
I
remember
just
that
want to
happened.
get, I just want to get married.
It's every girl's dream, isn't it? All right.
Yeah. Um, Akane and Akane and Ao and O. Yes, I can do that now. They came and they stopped them, and so
Just as a
that was
side note, Aoi doesn't say anything in
Yeah,
this
that's
entire.
she doesn't.
She doesn't.
She's just standing in the back, like, not sure what to do. I think she's just like, I don't have a part to play in this discussion, so I'm just gonna
Poor
stand
girl.
here.
She doesn't know what's going on.
She doesn't. She's got no idea what's up. She just, her childhood crush showed up, grabbed her hand, and started running, and now she's like, okay, I guess we're going this
hmm
way.
And yeah, Aoi, he's like, he doesn't even care what's going on right now. He just got back Aoi, right? So he's completely fine. He doesn't care about anything else. So he doesn't understand why they're quarreling.
I am giving Akane some serious bro points here because I really did think he was on Teru's side when we first popped down on top of this
hmm
train because, he was fighting alongside Teru. It's really clear that he doesn't care whether Hanako gets offed or not. Like that, it's not a priority
hmm
for him, whatever. Right
Yeah,
now, all that matters to him is he's got Aoi back, and, if everyone can make it back safely, that's fine by him too. Stop fighting, you morons. We have bigger
in fact,
things to worry about.
Yep.
in fact, I think even if Teru gets left behind, he's just like, well, I've got Aoi.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, he wouldn't care about leaving everyone behind, but he doesn't want to. It's a weird line to draw, but like he doesn't care one way or the other. He'll be
That
fine if everyone makes it out.
yeah, that's the type of guy Aoi is. Akane is, okay? But
I do like him here. He's being the most mature in this group,
Yeah.
and I
hmm
really love him for it. You
but
remember when
yeah,
Akane was just this random background character, guys? Way back before
yeah,
the sleepover
really.
arc.
What, like in the anime?
In the anime, when he's in the opening and nobody really knows why.
Yeah, exactly. He's in the opening in the same shot as Teru, and you're just like, why?
Yeah, no one who hasn't read the manga would understand that at all. It's just like, what's going on?
Yeah, they even skipped over the arc where he became significant in
Well,
the
they
anime.
have to. They couldn't have thrown in the whole Yashido is gonna die in the
If they
anime.
were planning
Yeah,
to
That
they
would
just
have been
ended it
a
with that.
terrible ending.
true, true,
This is what the whole arc is about, so okay.
true.
Anyways.
Dang. But yeah, um, yeah, he's pretty much saying, you guys went overboard, stop fighting. And I just love the image where he's like, he took Ko chin up and Ko is just,
Yeah.
and it's like, I'm fine.
Cute.
It was so cute. words of encouragement just goes to show how bad Akane is at like actually encouraging people. He can admonish them easily, but like he's trying to perk his spirits, and all he can think to say is a chin up
With a question mark.
with a dot 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 question mark. It's very
Yeah,
good.
but he's just like, let's go home.
All right. Wait, no, you can't. You left Yashiro behind. Wait, stop.
Oh, oops. Yeah. Did I?
No,
Oh, yeah, he said
he's
that.
leaving Yashiro behind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the thing is, number 7 isn't a priority for them. Teru is the one who's like, I'm going to murder this boy. Okay? So he doesn't really care about Hanako. Yeah, yeah. I think he should just leave Hanako alone. Although Hanako really does deserve to get stabbed. No, he's the one who caused this for Aoi. Okay, as much as I don't want Hanako to get disintegrated,
I'm
he
pretty
does
sure
deserve to
number
get stabbed.
6 is the one who holds the most responsibility for this
Yeah.
situation.
I think Hanako just took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, but the difference between number 6. Alright, wait, we can get into number 6 soon.
Fun little
Yeah,
reminder in this
Teru's-
shot that Teru still has a duffel bag with him. Like, dude, what's in that bag? How much did you pack? I want to
But
know. He opened it up and there's like a change of clothes and a teddy bear and a hairbrush. It's like,
Do you think number 2's connection would come into play here? Maybe
don't-
that's in there.
I don't know. It's just a hand.
Oh
Like,
wait,
did he bring
never
the
mind.
hand?
Sorry, I forgot they used that already.
They
Yeah.
did.
They used it.
did.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So
Oh,
Teru's
and yeah,
Koi's walking away.
before we get into that bit, Ko's specific words here. I didn't ask him to protect me. So literally, Ko understood immediately that Teru's anger was just him wanting to protect him. Like, you'd figure there'd be some misunderstanding there about his brother thinking he's weak, but like, Ko just knows. He knows that Teru just wants to look after him, that that's where those words stemmed from, that that's the feeling behind it. And that's just Ko being MVP, again, because he's the best.
Yeah,
Yep.
I swear. But yeah, Koi's walking away, and yeah, things just go really down south here. Yeah, he's about to get stabbed by number 6, but Teru saved him and throws him back and gets stabbed in his place.
Okay, so like there was a moment for those of you who know Five Nights at Freddy's. There was a little meme going around of this picture and someone saying, "Is that the bite of 87?" And I burst out laughing. I feel bad because this is a really serious problem that we're facing with now, and I think he might have just lost an arm. Like, that is how bad that injury is right there. He might have lost his arm. But the bite of 87, that's really good.
So number 6 apparently came here to stop the place from collapsing, but he also came there to stab Ko in the back. I don't know how you come to stop the place from collapsing and then your first instinct is to stab someone in the heart, but okay. Um, yeah. So he's doing that, and he realized, oh, the face looks familiar, so he stabs them.
No. You gotta say it with an accent. I saw this here place stopped its collapsing.
I love the accent.
The translators, because he does have like an accent in the actual Japanese, right? I think he's got a specific dialect, so they're
would assume.
transcribing it as like a Western accent, and I burst out laughing. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I
But
can hear
somehow
it.
y'all's faces
I would
look
assume
mighty for me.
I would assume it's because it's a southern Japanese accent. I would assume.
Oh my god.
Something to
It's
that
northern, wouldn't it be? I don't know. I don't know how Japan
yeah.
works or even what dialect he's using,
I'm
actually.
sorry. No. Is it just me? But does this just ruin the whole lore of number 6? Is that just me? It just ruins his
How?
old. His
No,
old
he's
lore.
always
How?
been like that.
Yeah.
I can't see him. I see him as a redneck now. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think it makes sense that he has a country accent.
I accept the country accent, but I'm going to assume that they are going to not use the country accent in the official translation.
Please, please.
Because they
no.
haven't. They haven't in the past, and it would be real weird if they suddenly started giving him one.
I really like it because, you know, it gives like
It doesn't
the fact
suit
that it-
him. I'm sorry.
the fact that it translates like even an accent from like
Listen.
the Japanese is just nice. I like that.
No.
I'll give them
listen.
points for trying, like
Listen,
points
let's-
for
alright.
making it a point of showing us that he does have an accent, because
No,
you can't really
okay.
transcribe dialects. It's
Exactly.
not
No,
how
I
that
don't
works.
think you guys get my point here. Listen, suppose you were a teenage girl and you're fangirling number 6, right? And then when you see number 6 and he comes, he's like, "Howdy, y'alls."
Okay,
If
but
he-
like,
if he
what
does
if
that-
you're from a place where that's just how everyone speaks?
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't really mind that. My family's from Texas.
Yeah, there. You probably hear this all the time.
I do.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just me.
So, like,
It's
not
just
really
you.
much to me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, but that's pretty much the end of the chapter. He gives Ko a very menacing look there, but yeah.
Interesting that he recognized them immediately as Minamoto kids.
Mhm.
Because they haven't met before this, obviously. They've never run
I mean,
into each
there's
other.
a whole
He's only
dynamic
familiar
between.
with the
Yeah.
Minamotos in general, but
He
I mean,
did
there
work
is a
with
whole.
them.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a whole dynamic between the Minamotos and number 6 because number 6 was the one who guards the Akane girls and keeps them from hurting themselves and escaping for the Minamoto clan to then sacrifice them.
It is kind of him showing off some of his god powers, too, because, he did the same when he saw Aoi immediately. He's like, you're part of this bloodline. Like, he knew immediately. I'll give him a pass on that one because Aoi looks a lot like Sumire. So he could have just looked at their faces and been like, yeah, you're part of the clan. But, like, we have no evidence that our Minamoto kids look exactly like their ancestors either. I think number 6 really does have some sort of innate ability to just, like, know when someone is part of a certain bloodline. He takes one look at them and he's like, yes, you are an exorcist. I can sense the power within you.
You're one of those Minamoto fillers.
Fellers. Not even fellas, it's fellers.
I
I'm
love that.
sorry. I mean, the accent is cool and all, but I just don't see number 6 in the accent. But anyways,
And the poor look on Ko's face, oh my gosh. He's
Yeah.
just holding on to Teru. Can we talk about how OP this is, really? Because Teru has been the most OP character so far, aside from Tsukasa, right? Like, that's always been the question. Those are our top 2 fighters. What would happen if those 2 fought? And he just took out Teru like it was no big deal. He chopped his arm off. Okay, maybe not completely, but like, wow. It's just he's got the blood dripping from his hand. Like, oh my gosh.
and you know how ironic that situation is. Ko is just like, I don't need you to protect me, and there's Teru protecting him for the last time. Wow.
Okay, look, he's not dead yet. He's not dead yet. Let me get this straight right now. If Teru is gonna die, he at least needs a death monologue. This is just how fiction works. You can't just suddenly kill off a character that has been this involved in the story. You can kill off side characters that fast, sure.
So
But Teru is not a
I-
side character.
I just want to mention, I went back to look at the official translations of some older chapters with number 6 in them, and he does have an accent.
No. In like the
official
TV,
translations
in the
do.
official. Oh,
Yeah, he says y'all and everything. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kathy. It's official.
No. At least give him like a Spanish accent or
A
something.
Spanish one?
Something.
I'm pretty sure he has a country accent for a good reason.
Oh my
Especially if it's in the
gosh.
official translation.
Yeah, like, oh.
Can you imagine him showing up with like an Italian accent? It's me,
Yes.
number 6.
Oh, that would be No, I can imagine it with like a deep country voice. I can imagine that just fine.
He shows up with an Irish accent. I would love that, actually. He'd have my heart if he showed up with like an Irish or Scottish accent
That
immediately.
wouldn't be that bad. That wouldn't be that bad, or a British accent or something.
I'm not sure how you would
A
transcribe that,
British
though.
accent. I don't
with
think
writing.
there's no reason he would have a British accent.
It's just a British accent.
That would be really random.
It just doesn't. Maybe it just doesn't fit like I don't know the little head canon I have. But anyways,
Oh well, your headcanon isn't canon.
Okay. Okay.
God.
Anyways, just to finish off this chapter with not at all the serious note that came before it. So we had the situation vote thing that happened. I didn't know it had happened. I clearly missed this entirely. After chapter 77, they said it's when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, let's talk about the results on this one a little bit.
Yep, this
yeah.
was a poll that happened way back in April of last year.
Oh yeah, that explains why I missed it. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can actually type what you think should happen in general discussion as well. Who would you bring with you on the deserted island?
I love that Hanako-kun won that. That's just everybody wanting to be alone with Hanako. That's what it is.
Basically.
When it comes down to it, I would pick Ko because that boy's useful.
Yes.
So
He was
fair.
in second place though.
He
so-
was in second place. I don't know why anyone would pick Tsukasa. I feel like that's the worst possible answer.
Yeah, definitely.
And May?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
what can May do?
Imagine if there was a sorry. Imagine if there was a storm or something and the fire was out. You need to keep warm with somebody, right? You can't keep warm with Hanako. You cannot keep warm with any of the supernaturals. Well, some of them.
I
But not
mean-
Hanako nor Tsukasa.
This is
You
a
need to keep
purely
warm with a
hypothetical
human
scenario,
being.
so we can hypothetically imagine that we're talking about them as if they were alive.
Oh, true.
Well, I would pick Ko because Ko seems the most resourceful of everyone in this
Ko
show.
is my
Ko
first
is the
pick.
smartest
Unreliable.
option, I think.
I think I would actually pick Natsuhiko as like my second or third pick, mostly because I don't know what he's capable of, but like he might be capable of a lot.
No,
He's a very
he'd just be
lucky
dreaming
guy.
about Sakura.
Yeah,
He
you
would
know,
just be dreaming
he's
about
astonishingly
Sakura.
lucky. So if you stay close to him, then maybe his
True.
luck will like seep into you, and you'll get rescued somehow.
True.
All right, number 2. Which pair would you like to see on a date? Of course, Hanako and Yashiro won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably no contest.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's
Um,
really cute that the second place, Aoi and Akane, like they actually show them at the zoo seeing
giraffes.
giraffes. That is so cute.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
sweet.
But like they talked about that. It's so cute. Now my heart hurts because
Yeah, I just want them to.
I want
you
them to
said-
go to the zoo. I want
Oh, but you
Aoi to
said they
meet some
expected-
giraffes.
They expected Mitsuko to be second place and not third. Mitsuko.
Yeah, Mitsuko ended up third.
Nah, I mean, I expected Akane to be.
Let's
second.
just pass over that fourth place option. I'm pretty sure that was a typo.
Alright. The thing is, I just imagine that as like not a romantic date.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know, but the other four, I'm pretty sure, are supposed to be romantic. Is the issue?
yeah, but
Look,
Okay, this
for
is-
those of us who are uncomfortable with it, we can pretend that that has no romantic connotation, and the people who voted can imagine that their romantic connotation was justified, and we can just
Sure.
agree to just disagree.
Yeah, sure.
yeah. But Nene and Ko for the fifth option. That's pretty cute.
I guess there
Pretty
are,
cute.
people who ship them. That's fair. It's a healthy ship. Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, number 3. In the future, who would be best at driving a car?
I vote Ko as well.
I would vote Ko.
Yeah, I think I actually voted Ko.
It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's what
Yeah,
makes
see?
sense.
People are saying Ko.
I think Akane would be pretty high on that list too. I just imagine Akane being a really safe driver,
People are
especially.
saying Tsushiko Mori.
But he's already in a
Yeah, exactly. So he,
Yeah, it does say in the future.
You know,
but
the older you get,
Natsuhiko?
the worse you drive. This is a real thing that happens.
But why would anybody want Natsuhiko to be?
I don't know.
No, I don't think Natsuhiko would be there.
Natsuhiko.
He would just be in a daze,
I think
dreaming about Sakura while driving. I swear.
I think Natsu is just who people vote for when they don't know who else to vote for.
Tsukasa would crash into people on purpose. Probably, yeah.
He
Yeah,
would. I can imagine that.
and then he'd come over to the car and tell them to say sorry.
All right, number 4. Who would be the best at gambling? I like that Teru's really high. I like that
Teru.
Tsukasa's really high on this. Like,
Yeah,
I
Teru was the easy, like, one for
Am I
me
the
to
only
choose.
one that thinks Sakura is the best at gambling? Like, I
don't
don't know.
know.
No, alright. Picture it. If Teru was gambling and beating everybody, who would be the one character that comes in, sits down on the opposite side of the chair, and Teru loses?
You're right. It would totally be Sakura. I can picture that
Exactly.
perfectly.
Exactly.
That is definitely
Right?
what would happen. But Tsukasa being
Yes.
high on that list makes sense too. I can imagine he's just got that air about him.
Really?
He would just get lucky. He'd
He
like, not
would.
even he wouldn't even know the rules and yet still win.
He would. That's
He'd be
Tsukasa.
he'd be playing with Uno cards and still win.
Yes. Yes.
I think they're playing poker with his Uno cards.
And the people who are actually following the game, he's like, be like, you're the one cheating. And then he'd probably threaten them.
He wouldn't even need to threaten them. He would just smile at them with his like soulless black eyes, and they'd be like, "Never mind, I'm out. I fold."
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, number 5. Who is most likely to become famous? Aoi, number 1 pick as an idol. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Very
She's
fair.
already super famous at school, so
Yeah, Teru too is also pretty famous at school, so that's fair. I like
And Natsuhiko.
Natsuhiko being at 3rd.
yeah,
I can picture that. He's got that, charm to him.
Tiara is
do
fourth.
love-
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's the only time Tiara pops up, I think, right?
But-
And
In this era, I don't think it makes that much sense. She just has a ton of power right now and nobody to fight.
yeah.
But Tsukasa as number 5.
If he would be infamous.
yeah,
Yeah, he'd be infamous.
he'd be famous because he's on wanted posters.
Yeah, that's Tsukasa. Hey, 6. Who is most likely to have a happy marriage? Oh, it's so sweet that everyone voted for Yashiro. That's just everyone
Yeah.
wanting her to have a happy marriage.
I think that's the most unlikely, but okay.
I think the most likely really is Ko because he's the perfect housewife,
Yeah.
house husband. I can just imagine any girl he would end up with, or guy, whatever he wants. And then they would just have this fantastic relationship where he would, be working around the house, and then his, wife or hubby would walk in, and then they would hang out. And I'm picturing Mitsuba a lot
I
in
wanted
this
to say-
fantasy.
Now that I think about it, Mitsuba also has potential to be famous in the future. But yeah.
If Mitsuba, if the OG Mitsuba had lived, he would have had some potential there. I mean, he's a photographer and a really good photographer, so he could have made a name for himself if he wanted to.
I just
Yeah.
want to mention the irony of Aoi and Akane both being on the list for who is most likely to have a happy marriage.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
One after the other. They can be happy together if they want to be.
Eventually,
Let's just
maybe.
let's just ignore, the toxic implications of a guy chasing after a girl who showed no interest in him for most of his life.
Oh no. Akane knows how to deal with that. He doesn't buy her bull. He really doesn't. He sims for her.
The moment when
doesn't
we
buy
all
her
found
food.
out we're always actually a tsundere.
This whole time.
It's the most subtle tsundere I've ever met in any series ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very chill tsundere.
Alright, 7. Which
Okay.
pair would you like to see fight together? Hanako and Tsukasa. That's a good one. I like Hanako and Teru as number 2.
Yeah,
I would really
that's
like to
great.
see that one. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
And then
true.
Teru and Akane is kind of funny because we just did see them fight
Yeah,
together.
we
That's
just
what
saw them
happened.
fight together.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. They just
I mean, they
broke
split
apart,
off
really.
very early, but for like 5 minutes there, they were fighting together in that train. So
Um,
we can check that off the list. It technically happened.
Yeah.
Ko and Teru. I mean, we just saw them fighting each other, but
Just not with
okay.
each other.
Yeah,
It's a
just that
little
way.
bit different.
And then Minamoto Ko and Mitsuba.
That would be really interesting because
We
Mitsuba's
did,
got kind of a
didn't we?
unique fight style. So
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. All right, but that's it for the situations. They're pretty interesting. I like it. A whole situation vote thing they did.
yeah,
It
that
really
was
makes
really
me think.
cute. I kind of wish I'd gotten a chance to vote on that. Like, that would have been fun. I hope they do another one.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
All right,
Uh,
it's time for questions, I guess. And Overuse, you're jumping in with a question already. You want to start this discussion?
so you guys who know how this is. You guys ask questions in general discussion, and or you can raise your hand and we'll bring you up, and you can say what you want to say.
And then your voice will be recorded forever and ever. It will outlast you sometime in the distant future. Your voice will still
Yeah,
exist.
it will. It will. If your mic is bad, though, we'll just put you back down.
Yeah. Oh, the key.
Any thoughts on the key? Oh my. We
No.
went over this, right? I literally edit an image in every time the word pops up.
We briefly mentioned that earlier when the chapter called back to something that happened a long time ago because we were like, okay, well then what about, the
That
K
thing.
word?
Like it's a
The K
swear word
word.
now.
They must not have forgotten about that then. If they
All right,
They're
let me
calling back to last.
let me address overused question, and then we take your sister's question and Essence question. So they're pretty much saying that as a Teru hater yourself, what exactly do you think of Teru as of now?
Yeah,
Any
Kathy.
thoughts on what happened to him in this chapter? Um, where do I start? So
Oh boy.
I know we all have hope. I mean, we were talking before that you have hope that Teru, he's not dead. I kind of have hope for Teru as well, but I think it's the opposite. I hope he does die.
Ouch.
Jeez.
Poor Teru. Oh my gosh. Look, I don't mind if they kill Teru off, in all honesty. Like, I do like Teru as a character. I would respect them for killing
Yeah.
him off,
I love
because,
Teru,
yeah. I always really respect authors when they have the guts to kill a character off.
I mean,
As long as they do it well, though, and him dying here would not be a well done death. It would just be catered too heavily to the shock factor. So I don't think he's going to die here, but I'm definitely not ruling out the possibility that he'll die later from this injury.
I've
Yeah,
been
but-
expecting him to die anyways because of the death flags that he has. So
We have talked about it. He's had his death flags.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really hate. I can't say I don't really hate him as much as when we saw when he was relatable for like half a second in the other chapter. I didn't really, hate him as much back then.
They've
but
really
he's-
been hamming in the feeling, like, they're trying to get the fan base to hate Teru right now, aren't they? Like, they're
Yeah, they're really trying. But I can say that my hate for him is not as strong as it used to be.
that's
it.
good.
It's not. It's really,
Well,
really
your
not.
hate for Teru used to be something else, if I remember
that's
correctly.
made a whole club about it.
A year ago, you invented the Teru Hate Club. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to bring up some people to talk. Yes, I'm
And
going to bring up.
Corpse did mention it would be terrible for Ko if
Oh yeah, that.
Teru died here.
Oh
So
god.
All right, do you have any questions?
Okay. So what I wanted to like talk about was more about Teru and Ko because I feel like you guys did talk about it a lot at the beginning, for sure. But so like where exactly do you think Teru's like animosity towards the supernaturals comes from? Like is it like I don't know if it was went over in like previous chapters, but like did it have something to do with how their mom died or something?
no, his mom died
just because of
naturally.
illness, yeah.
Like
As far
did
as
she
we know,
she just died from natural causes?
after giving birth, apparently there were
Yeah.
some
To
complications.
Ko? Or no, just
No,
Tiara,
Tiara.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't elaborate on that. I think Teru's hate for supernatural stems from two places. One, it's just he was raised as an exorcist, and that's how exorcists are. That entire group just has to be very, very anti supernatural, obviously, because they're going around killing them. You can't feel too bad for the creatures that you're destroying. I think the other thing for Teru is that he has some animosity for having been put into that position so young. I think he resents
yeah.
it to a certain degree, and he's directing those feelings of resentment towards the supernatural specifically. So
that
yeah,
is
I think his
something-
hate for supernaturals is magnified specifically because he's been forced to fight them from a really young age.
That is
Yeah.
something that I feel pretty bad like for him for. Like
I mean, if you want
that
to make
is-
somebody an extremist, you raise them to hate something from a very young age, and that is exactly what Teru
yeah,
is.
that's Teru is
Is
a victim of that.
Yeah, I
Do you
don't think.
think that's something that he forces onto Ko as well? Like he didn't want Ko to go through what he went through, and that's why he wanted him to like stay at home and be like protected.
Yeah, there's this
That's an
interesting
interesting-
duality between Teru's feelings because obviously he was trying to protect his brother. Like, he didn't want to expose Ko to everything. And at the same time, he wants Ko to understand his feelings. And he wants Ko to be on the same level as he is in terms of the exorcist mindset. And he doesn't. Like, there's just this irreconcilable divide in the way he seems to feel towards his brother.
I mean, the part in the chapter where like Teru says that he's jealous of how weak Ko is, like that just oof.
Yeah, that kind of that hit a little hard. That one
hurts.
Yeah.
I do
Alright.
genuinely feel really
Yeah,
bad for
and
him.
SN pointing out that after the severance, it's like he's like, "This is my first day off." Like, oh my
Yeah, it's
gosh,
so sad.
talk about
Yeah.
child labor
Poor
laws.
family.
Like, oh,
But yeah, I'm going to put you back down. No, if you have any other
Alright.
questions, you just raise your hand again. But yeah,
Yeah, that after the severance, that like whole like Teru just acting like a kid because he never got to be a kid is just so. So
it's
sad.
heartbreaking and sweet at the same time.
Yeah.
Bittersweet. It was very bittersweet.
Yes.
All
Alright.
Any other
next
questions,
is
guys?
SN, and then look in the chat if you see questions as well. But next is SN, and then Lizard Trash. Okay.
That's my name. I love Discord names. They're fun.
Hi, SN.
Hi. So, my question for today is, when will everything like go back to being normal? Like, when will the severance be undone and all that?
I don't know if we'll ever be going back to normal. Like
Also,
When
I
the
think
series
Number
ends.
6 is there.
Yeah.
I think number 6 is there to ensure that that doesn't
back at
happen.
school, right? We haven't seen the school in like 10 years already.
Well, it's been at least a full year. But yeah, I don't think normal is really going to be reestablished until
Yeah.
the actual end of the manga. Potentially, I think it's gonna be a while yet before we reestablish anything resembling that.
Yep.
Yeah. You're muted, by the way. SN?
I know I'm pretty sure SN knows. Anyways, Overuse, you have another question?
Do you guys see any questions in the chat? Alright, I'm going to put you back down, SN. Alright. So, any questions in the chat? None?
I'll give Overuse a sec.
Yeah. It's just,
Okay.
Welcome.
Hi. So this, so this is for all of you. If you had to make a prediction, do you think the next chapter will be a POV switch, or are we going to continue from here?
Oh, we're definitely going to
Oh,
continue.
oh yeah. I think we're starting right from where we left off. I don't think it's too soon for us to go back
Yeah.
to Hanako and Yashiro.
I really feel like whiplash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay, thank
like
you,
I said, we're
bye.
done with Hanako and Yashiro for a while. Yeah, these are trash. Your time. Sorry about that. Okay, you can speak.
They're not up here.
Okay, I'll just bring up Omniplayer then. Omniplayer, and there.
Oh, we got
Oh,
Lizard.
wait, never mind.
So what are you guys' thoughts on the howdy, y'all? Aren't you one of you're one of those Minamoto fellows?
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
It's cringe.
Don't say it's
Like,
cringe. My
Yep,
family
yep.
is Texan.
You're one of
No.
those Minamoto
That's so
fellows.
mean.
Don't
Fellas.
That is not how number 6 should talk. I'm sorry.
I don't imagine it like that, honestly. I imagine it in much deeper voice. I
That's
think
how
the way
I
I imagine
imagined
it is
I couldn't take
is fitting.
it seriously while reading. I was just
Exactly.
like, howdy, y'all.
It's true. It's true that if I hadn't, read the rough translation first, where the accent was not transcribed that way, that it would have been harder to take the moment seriously. Because, I did. When I read this translation, I burst out laughing. I just was not expecting it, and it was really
didn't-
funny.
I didn't even
I
know.
didn't even notice what happened to Teru's arm because of it. I was too focused on the speech.
You had to circle back around and be like, oh yeah, that happened too. Lost an
Did
arm.
you guys
Oops.
just all forget that number 6 had a country accent? And
Yes.
it had a country accent?
Look,
didn't
it's
notice
been
that.
a long time since number 6 has
I've
been
loved
around.
That part of number 6 forever.
It's been
I just
ages.
And also the fact that Teru was like, get in the sandwich and make me a kitchen.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think it's especially funny and sad. It's simultaneously funny and sad that, if he had said that to a sister, it would have caused outrage.
Yes.
Gender equality.
But he said it to his brother, and it's still, it's still an iffy thing to say, but it's not
only is he
nearly
racist,
as
he's also
controversial.
sexist.
It would have cemented the Teru hate if he had said that to a sister.
Yeah. But yeah. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I rest my case. Just the fact, get in the sandwich and make me a get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Oh, oh my god.
Alright. Thank you. I swear I need to change up a 6's voice. It's just not sitting with me well.
it's
I'm
not
sorry.
happening. It's
You
not
know
happening.
what, Kathy?
That's how
You
it
and I
happened.
together, we
It
can write a letter and we'll send it to
I don't know,
Drunk
he
Bath
changed.
Salt
I like
fans.
that quirk about him.
We'll send a note to AidaIro, you and I, and be like,
No, but the
by
thing
the
is that
way,
I am 100% sure that AidaIro could notice that this is a different accent. Then he would just not sit with it well.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
It's the accents
I don't
are
think they know
different
English.
depending on where you are, right?
Mhm.
Around here, certain accents sound like super country and whatever, but I'm sure
No.
if you live in places where that accent is normal, I'm the one with the country sounding accent. I mean, I'm Canadian. This
Exactly,
has
yeah.
to sound pretty ghetto to someone.
No, okay, but it could at least be like a old English, middle age,
But then no one would be able to understand
medieval,
him.
yeah.
Him
that-
though, like
Can you imagine number 6 showing up speaking Shakespearean?
when he was watching over Sumire, they were in like an old country looking village. Like
They were.
That's
They
what
were
you
from the
see.
sticks.
Did you
That's
see
why it
anybody
fits him.
else speaking like that though in that village? Nobody else was speaking like that.
Look, if you want to imagine him
That's
speaking
actually
Shakespearean
wrong.
English, then go ahead.
different jokes. I mean, yeah, if you want to imagine that, then you can. But it just really doesn't fit him. Fits him less than the country accent.
It would be
Alright,
hilarious,
listen, I'm
though.
going to bring up Omniplayer. I just have to rant about that. Omni, you still wanted to speak?
Yeah, if anyone's got more questions. There we go. We
Hello,
got a new one.
Omniplayer.
Now, here's the thing. My mind always does this to me. Whenever I have a question, I always end up forgetting it before I get the chance to ask it.
Ah, darn it. You gotta write it down.
Always remember to write
Okay,
it down.
goodbye, people.
Yeah.
Hi, bye.
Alright.
Thou art one of thine Minamotos. Yes, perfect lizard.
Yes!
I love number 6, and I love his country accent. Y'all are just mean.
Y'all.
I'm dying.
Listen.
I
Alright.
say y'all in my day-to-day like dialect.
You know, I
It's
do
something I
too.
genuinely say.
I
So-
don't know why, because I don't live with anyone that has any kind of country accent, but like I do slip into slight country slang sometimes when I'm talking. I don't know
a
what
lot.
causes that.
because my family is Texan.
I don't know.
Right.
It's just when I want to emphasize what I'm saying. It's things like y'all and ain't start coming out of my mouth, and I don't know why.
I mean, but he's not emphasizing anything. He's completely relaxed right now. He just stabbed
Well,
someone
no,
and he's
You don't know how he's
People
speaking.
genuinely have country accents, though. It's not like people just use country accents to accentuate stuff.
I can't believe how much we've argued about country accents in this podcast.
Hey, that's my heritage, okay? Like, genuinely my heritage.
God.
And
Okay.
I love number 6 as a character, and I love his country accent, so...
Okay.
Alright.
Any other questions, guys?
Your sister wants to say something, but any written questions? Nothing? Hello.
Howdy, y'all.
Oh my god.
Anyways, but that's not what I wanted to say. But like, I just wanted to say that. But so what I really wanted to talk about was when they said something. I don't remember if it was in the last chapter or the chapter before, but like, Ko was like talking about. Well, it was like maybe a couple chapters ago, but he was talking like he had like unfinished business with like Mitsuba, and I'm just patiently waiting for him to come back. But like, when do you think he's gonna come back?
Mitsuba?
I don't know.
Mitsuba.
I can't imagine Mitsuba being brought back into the story anytime soon, but I also wasn't expecting number 6 to be brought back into the story anytime soon.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere.
So yeah, like I don't want to rule it out. There's a possibility he'll be back. And you know, everyone's in serious trouble right now. We haven't really talked about this, but like Teru was their fighting force. Akane can't do that much. He can do some, but like not that much more than what Ko can do. They are in serious trouble right now. Like they need to run for their lives. Because if they do not, they are going to
think so?
die.
Do you think number 6 has something against the Minamotos?
I don't think he has anything against the Minamotos. I think he's identified our group as the one who's standing in the way of the severance happening right now, and he is going to be out to eliminate them. Like it's not personal, but like they're causing a problem to his plan. They are in the way, and I think he's gonna have no issue with getting rid of them.
No, but are they the reason why the place is coming apart right now?
I think it's the
Wasn't-
reason why the place has
Yeah,
stopped
okay.
falling apart. I don't know why. I don't know how. Like, there's some mechanic going on. It's probably got to
Oh.
do with the fact that they're, like, pulling the sacrifice back from death.
Yeah.
Maybe? I have no idea. There's a lore explanation here, and I don't know what it is, but for some
don't
reason, our group's presence here has halted the severance. It's halted the collapse of this area.
I really don't think that there's anything that they can tell number 6 right now that will convince him not to bring Aoi back. Of course, Akane can freeze time, but we've seen Akane fight number 6 before. He didn't win.
Well, he did, and he didn't. He still lost Aoi, did he not?
He killed her, actually.
Yeah.
Literally. Still waiting for that to get brought up.
Yeah.
Is it like ever explained how they're gonna get back? Like all
No.
of them?
I
No.
don't think any
No
of them
idea.
thought for a second how they're gonna get back. Even Akane's
Man.
like, okay, it's about time we start brainstorming how we're gonna get out of here. Like, there was no plan.
Oh no.
The plan was getting there, not getting back. That's
plan
why they got their duffel bag, their sleepover duffel bags.
Like what? Nah. Tara treating this like a family vacation. They brought like the bag. He's like, I'm going on vacation. Time off.
But yeah,
I believe
it's
that's
a real problem, and I don't know who to side for. That's the thing, because if they halt the severance, then Aoi gets brought back, but Nene dies. If they don't halt the severance, Nene survives, and she can stay with Hanako potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And but Aoi dies, and Teru and Akane are sad. So I
You see,
don't know
like-
who to side with.
they never planned, like Teru never planned to bring Nene back alive, I don't think. So
That's a good
I
thought,
think they planned
actually.
on, like, leaving Nene there.
Like, Teru at least might have been planning for that. It was established a very long time ago that Teru has given up on Nene, essentially. It's just accepted.
He also has some sort of plans for Aoi, so definitely more important to save Aoi
Yeah.
than do like anything to like make sure Yashiro survives.
But Teru is not in a situation to control this scenario anymore.
Yep.
Whatever
Yeah, he got
Teru
his
wanted
arm
to
cut
do,
off.
the only thing he can do now is try not to die. Like, that is his priority.
His arm cut off. His legs cut off.
Like, oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Like, it looks like his arm was cut off, but we don't have any true evidence to that because it's not like we saw his arm flying off into the distance. Like, you think he's
it
really
looked like,
gonna lose his arm to this? Like,
Nah, his arm probably gonna grow back or something. Some weird.
no, that's anime protagonist powers. He's not quite the protagonist here.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then
he
again,
can
number
act
six
like
can-
himself,
bro.
so-
Number 6 can bring back life to, I guess, his arm.
Yeah, number 6 could probably do that if he wanted to. I'm just thinking, like, if he's really lost his arm, that is the end of his career as an exorcist. Like, even if he
Yeah.
survives, there's no way he can keep fighting. That was his sword arm, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was.
Pathetic.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So yeah, this.
Can you imagine that? He's holding his arm for ransom, saying,
Oh
it's
my
either your
god.
arm or you get the hell out of here.
Oh my god.
That'd be amazing.
I'm dying. That's so funny.
Oh.
But yeah, but he can just easily kill everyone there except for Aoi and just take her back. Like, no problem whatsoever.
Oh no.
I'm really curious what's happened next.
We gotta pause because there's a very serious thing going on in chats right now. Mina, you don't know
wait a
what the
second.
key is? Oh, we gotta talk about the key briefly. Let's all
Wait,
remember.
hold on. Omniplayer actually wants to talk. No, I think they remember the question.
Okay, I got 2 seconds to finish this. The key was what Nene picked up from Amane when she went into the past. So she got the key. We don't know what it's for, but like it's in her possession now, and it has been since. And we have been desperately waiting for this key to become relevant again. And now it's just a running gag in our podcast about, this thing that I'm trying
Yep.
not to say too frequently because it causes editing work.
Alright. Omniplayer. Yeah, you remember what you were saying?
I have a question.
Okay.
Sure.
What if they decide to make number 6 speak the country accent in the Japanese version of the anime?
Well, it wouldn't
Well, he
work
probably
in the
will
Japanese
have a-
version at all. He'll
like,
have like a
like,
Kansai
Japanese-
dialect or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
he'll have the
Speaking Japanese in
accent.
that country accent.
I don't know how Japanese would work with a country
that,
accent.
yeah, that
I can't imagine the English dub using a country accent.
No.
Like number 6, speaking Japanese in a country accent.
probably not. I could see the subs subbing him in a sort of like just saying y'all maybe like the official translation does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I
Alright.
could see him saying y'all in the dub too,
that would be so funny.
but not going as far as to have like a very deep country accent.
Yeah, it just turns into a problem if the accent isn't good.
I don't know. this whole thing just reminds me of how people were mad that Sinyeon in Genshin got like a country accent, but like people didn't understand that it fits her because of her like Chinese accent that she has
I
in
did
the
not
original.
know that.
Yeah, people. Yeah, it just it's so like reminding me of that. I'm just like, ugh, this
Oh well.
again.
Whatever they want to do, long before we talk about whether he'll have an accent or not, we need to consider whether he'll ever be animated. And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
odds are not very high. It's been a long time since season 1 happened at this point, and there's been no whispers about a second season, so
Yep.
All right, I'm going to put you at down.
I think the only
What do you?
talk
Sorry?
we've got about a season 2 from like any official source is like I believe it was AidaIro talking to one of the people who worked on the first season and was like, "Yeah, I would love to do a season 2 if we could."
it would
That
be
was
great.
basically it.
Hint, hint,
It would
nudge,
be great.
nudge.
It would be nice.
But yeah. All right. SN has a question. That would probably be the last question for the show.
Yeah, we're pushing over an hour somehow. How is it that every
Yeah,
time we
chapters-
push over an hour, it has been with a chapter that we started thinking, oh, there's not much to talk about with this chapter.
Yeah.
I think we just had more questions.
We
Alright.
did. There's a lot of
We did have a
questions
lot
this
of
time
questions,
around.
yeah.
All right,
SN.
SN.
Okay. I'm really curious. Where is Tsukasa? He hasn't appeared in like so many chapters. We need him back. We
Yes.
really need him back.
Tsukasa's last appearance was at the end of the Picture Perfect arc.
Yeah,
when
not
he
counting
asked
baby
for
Tsukasa.
Shijima- Yeah, not counting baby Tsukasa. I'm talking like present Tsukasa. He has
Yeah.
not been here in so long.
Maybe Tsukasa doesn't really count. He's kind of just a weird anomaly.
I really thought that Tsukasa was going to be the supernatural that showed up, before any other
Same.
one in this
Yeah,
arc.
exactly.
Let's rip out Teru's arm
But-
instead of number 6. But that
Number
doesn't
six.
happen.
Number 6 was also a very obvious option as well, but we just didn't think about it for some reason.
Yeah,
I
well,
He fits
he's so-
perfectly here.
Yeah, he's like very intertwined with the whole Severance plot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't think it was that we weren't thinking about it. It's just we weren't hoping for it. It's very
Yeah,
low
yeah.
on the list of characters we wanted to see.
Mhm.
I mean, I
What I'm saying.
Oh,
Okay.
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 All right, I'm going to put you back down. You know, so we've already come to we have a main standing theory about this is kind of unrelated to the chapter, but we have a standing theory about who killed Hanako, right? I'm sorry. Was that the theory? Who killed Hanako?
Who killed Hanako?
who killed
No,
Hanako?
Sorry. Why did Hanako kill Tsukasa?
I
Yes.
mean, the running
Okay.
theory you and I have been working with is that he unalived himself.
Yes.
But that's not confirmed, obviously. It's
No, and
just
who was abusing Hanako? Yes, that's the question.
Okay.
yeah, that's a harder question. Obviously, the most popular one is that Tsukasa's the one responsible. I still kind of hold to that. I do think that Tsukasa was at least partially responsible for
Yeah,
what
for
went
sure.
down. It might have involved his parents, his poor mother, who was probably went through a psychotic break because of what happened with Tsukasa. So that could have been rough. I really don't think school bullies were involved. I don't know. It's just very clearly Amane was spending time at the school, right? Like he was hanging back. He was making a point of not going home. And
can we
I just feel
explain-
like Tsuchigamori would have, as a teacher,
Wait.
would have been able to do something.
Can we explain how there's no fake Tsukasa? Because I'm still seeing people talking about fake Tsukasa in
Ooh.
different discussion, and we need to explain that apparently.
Okay,
I
so
guess a lot of people didn't get that.
I'll go back around and explain what happened. So the Red House exists in this kind of temporal plane where time doesn't work properly. So when Nene and Ko showed up at that house, they met a Tsukasa from 50 years ago. So Tsukasa from the past, he jumped into the hole, sacrificed himself, and when he was eaten by the Red House, essentially, he was displaced in time. He met Nene and Ko, and after his interaction with them, made the choice to go home. So he went back now with kind of like possessed by the red heft spirit or whatever. It seems like they're kind of sharing his body there. Went back and grew up with Amane after having been gone for several months. And ended up, getting killed by his brother. So there was only ever the one Tsukasa. There was just some weird timey-wimey business going on.
Yeah, why did we say that he was fake again?
Because there couldn't have been. We didn't realize there was time stuff going on, and
we didn't realize it was time travel.
There couldn't be two of them at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it came down to it, just one. There's only one.
I mean,
to be honest, he could have potentially just stayed missing, if Nene never told him that. Well, Ko never told him that Hanako was going to kill him.
Yeah,
because that's really what sparked his interest. He's like, oh, that's a side of Hanako I've never seen before.
And that's what makes it a fixed timeline. That's what makes it a fixed timeline, right? Because if he never met Nene and Ko in the future, then he wouldn't have gone home, and then Amane never would have killed him, and none of that would have happened. So it's fixed. It always happened. That's always how it went down. Which is always funny because it means that Tsukasa may or may not have known who Nene and Ko were when he met them the first time.
Yeah, he might have just neglected to mention that.
It would be such a Tsukasa thing to do to just not say anything.
Yeah, the real reason why we can know for sure that the Tsukasa being fake theory is wrong is because of this panel.
Oh yeah, if Nene says it, then obviously it is incorrect.
Yeah.
Nene is the one character that they use to spout off the incorrect information. As soon as it comes out of her mouth, oh, nope, that's not what's going on.
And of course, it makes us all feel stupid because we also thought that.
Dang it! Oh no, we're on the same wavelength as Nene.
Yeah, the
shame.
Miss Hanako-kun's descendant.
Oh my gosh. And she will never live it down. It's been like a year and she's still not living it down.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, that's so wrong. I was to think about it. But yeah, Tsukasa being fake and like having the fact that Hanako might kill him spark his interest is the fact that is one of the reasons why people think that Tsukasa was the one who was abusing Hanako, because Hanako, that he's like it's a very reasonable thing to forgive if your brother is the one who is abusing you. And maybe it just got to him.
Yeah, a lot of things could have happened. I know there's a running theory that Tsukasa killed the parents, and that's what drove Hanako to kill him because freaking menace in the house. It's possible.
His mother didn't even like him. His mother knew that something was up since he left.
All right, we are running really long. Next chapter predictions.
Well, just a continuation of what happened this chapter, I think. I don't think we're gonna cut away. I think they'll be like too quick.
Yeah, I'm expecting we'll keep going from where we're going. Guesses on whether Teru's gonna survive or how long he's gonna survive if he doesn't.
Okay,
I think he'll die now, but maybe later.
He might die later. I'm expecting that even if he does die, he's at least going to survive a few more chapters.
Yeah.
I think maybe he doesn't die, and maybe he gets into a situation where he does die after defending, say, somebody one last time.
I am going to guess.
I'm not sure who that person is.
I'm gonna put my foot down here and make an official prediction that he isn't going to die, but he is going to be permanently crippled from this.
Yes. Yeah.
That's my guess.
If Teru dies saving Nene, that's impossible. He thinks Nene is supposed to die anyways.
That is, like, one of the reasons that I really don't think he would die here is because he hasn't really gone through his full character arc yet.
Yeah, he needs to finish. He's got some apologizing to do. That boy can't die here.
Exactly. He has a lot of growth to go through still. He can't die here.
Yeah, and they're, AidaIro is very particular about their character growth, and it takes a while, but I I always trust them to see it through to the end. So yeah, there's no way. He's not dead. He's not dying here. He can't die here.
So how is that situation going to go down? Number 6 is there, that's his enemy, he's crippled. Ko can't do anything. Akane can't do anything. Are they going
Run.
to talk things through?
Everybody needs to run for their lives.
He can pause number
Where's
6 for, like-
Hakujodai?
I doubt Hanako would help them. And
Okay.
this is probably happening while they're kissing. Like Nani and Hanako is kissing. Teru just got stabbed in the heart
In the exact same moment. You
in
know?
the exact same moment.
Oh gosh.
Right?
Okay, so we still have someone who doesn't understand why fake Tsukasa theory is wrong in chat.
I think, we went over it in a lot of detail in the podcast we did at the end of that arc.
Of chapter 82 where they explain what happened.
I know I
'Cause they
did.
do explain
I had like a full essay written out on how that worked.
Yeah, you did.
I did. It was good. I had it worked out perfectly, and now I can't sort out my thoughts on it anymore.
So here's what can happen. We can end the podcast now, and you can stay behind and listen if you want, or anybody else can stay behind if they didn't understand.
They can't do it. Can't I just recommend
There's the part of the manga
Okay.
my
that,
podcast?
where
Like,
they kind of explain what happened.
oh yeah. See, they talked about it.
They did.
Tsukasa is not a fake. He is possessed. There.
Yeah, basically.
That's it. They're sharing body space.
Yeah.
And
Huh.
Something like
okay.
possession at the very least.
I've never seen that panel before. Wow.
what?
Really? Wait, really?
Yeah.
We did a
yeah.
podcast on this. We talked about it.
We did,
I know.
We did. You definitely saw that panel before.
Okay.
We had a discussion.
Yeah,
No,
I remember
I know
having
there's
a
a
discussion about this
discussion.
panel specifically.
I know there's a discussion.
I think it was
Well, maybe-
specifically at this panel that I stopped and did my whole
Oh, for sure.
spiel
Yeah.
on how this works.
Okay, maybe I'm just, I don't know.
It's early, guys. It's
A
early,
lot of
okay?
people haven't noticed this panel, I guess.
What?
It's really bad because it's important. It's really important.
Ah, okay.
It's basically the whole revelation of like, oh yeah, he's not fake. That's like the whole. That's like the whole revelation of that chapter, basically.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, we're going on 1 hour and 20 minutes, so it's about
Yeah.
time
wow.
we wrap
Yeah.
this up. As per usual, the podcast. Well, no, not the next chapter is at the usual time, right? It's the 18th again.
Yes.
Yeah, so next chapter, release on the 18th, 17th for most of the rest of us in the world because we get the Raws when they drop at midnight on the 18th in Japan. And the translation soon after. We'll get to the podcast as soon as we can after that.
Yeah, you guys should look out for unofficial translations in the server as well. We usually have them a day before the official translation.
It happens really fast. Usually we get
Yeah.
the Raws at like as soon as it drops, and within like 4 to 5 hours of that, usually the whole thing is translated.
Yeah.
Roughly speaking. Enough to be
Very roughly
understood.
Translated.
So yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I guess we can call it here today.
Okay.
Thank you guys for doing the
Yep.
podcast. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Talking to you guys.
Thank you guys so much for coming, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Take care.
Take
Yep. See
care.
ya.
Bye.